Our next group of speakers are going to be talking about the how. First up, we have Alan Ransil, PhD, project lead for Filecoin Green, and also a member of the research team at Protocol Labs. Over to you, Alan.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Juan, for that awesome sort of overall scope for what we're doing. I'm really going to talk about how the vision that Juan just laid out relates to the tools that we're building and sort of give you sort of a scaffold to understand the context for all the amazing talks that are about to come. You know, what is Filecoin Green? So this is a project sort of with these two visions as a sort of guiding principles, right? So how can Web3 and Filecoin specifically become environmentally beneficial? And what tools can we build to do that? And then secondly, how can Web3 and Filecoin especially be used to upgrade environmental accounting, right? How can we do a really, really good job tracing environmental impacts throughout the Web3 ecosystem? And then beyond that, how can we really build tools that are going to allow us to trace environmental impacts throughout supply chains and throughout the economy broadly, right? Because like Juan said, that is the sort of thing that Web3 should really be able to solve, right? If you content address everything, if you hash link everything, you should be able to say, okay, if this company is an input to my process, or if this product is an input to my process, how do the environmental impacts of all of these inputs translate into what I'm doing, right? And how can I use that information to really understand what my impact is and take actions throughout all of these extended supply chains across the economy to really reduce those impacts? And so where we're starting with this, and the Energy Web Foundation, who you're going to hear from, have been amazing partners in doing this. Where we're starting is by connecting Filecoin to existing renewable energy markets. And so this is sort of a broad schematic of how renewable energy markets work as they exist right now in the economy. So firstly, a solar farm, a wind farm, some other renewable power generator will produce both electrons that go into the grid, and they will produce renewable energy attributes that are tracked in something called a REC registry, so renewable energy registry. And so what Filecoin can do is buy electricity and also buy these renewable energy attributes, these RECs, and verifiably be supporting renewable energy through that. So we did a demo recently in which we worked with a bunch of amazing storage providers who are interested in really leading the way on Filecoin Green and in renewable energy, and worked with Energy Web Zero and a company called 3 Degrees to source renewable energy credits in order to account for the energy use of those storage providers. And so we were able to have them buy renewable energy based on an estimate of how much energy they've used over their entire lifetime in the network so far, and then track that in the Energy Web Zero system, which you're going to hear a lot more about today. And we were able to add that as a link in FilRep. So FilRep is the reputation system, which allows an individual storage provider to show clients why they're the best storage provider to store their files, right? So there are all of these different attributes of a storage provider that are accounted for here. And what we did is we added this renewable energy column to the Filecoin reputation system, right? And so this is a live link, so you can click on this here and say, okay, so this storage provider purchased 168 megawatt hours of renewable electricity. And you can then go and say, okay, on the Energy Web Zero website, and this is all live, this is all real, this is really interfacing with real renewable energy markets. Okay, so this miner ID in the Filecoin network, so that storage provider purchased 168 RECs in 2021, which equates to 168 megawatt hours of renewable electricity. And you can even look at, okay, where was this renewable energy produced? It was apparently wind. And then you can look at this redemption statement, right? Which is this connection to these existing off-chain renewable energy registries, right? So really the question is, right, what Web3 native tools can we build that allow us to interface with renewable energy markets as they currently exist, right? And so that's been sort of a major initiative here. And we are working very hard to scale this up and to open this to every storage provider who wants to participate. So our next phase 2 demo is going to be bigger. We're going to be buying a huge amount of renewable energy and really supporting renewable energy projects throughout the world. This is going to be sort of a more significant revenue stream going to support development of say, solar and wind. And what we can also do, because we have really good, really granular data about exactly how the network is using electricity, at least in time, right? Because storage providers are publishing proofs every day showing exactly how much storage they are storing. We can use that to improve on industry standards for buying renewable energy and matching renewable energy consumption to supply, right? And so what that means in this case is a shorter accounting period. So the industry standard is to buy renewable energy attributes that are produced within this 21-month window, including when you use that energy. We're shortening that. We're targeting 1 month to really say let's do a better job sort of matching renewable energy consumption to supply, right? And that's really because of the way that the network allows us to work with data in this really sort of verifiable way. So then a second prong to this is how much energy does Filecoin actually use? And you're going to hear a lot more on work that we're doing from Harold Rankin, who's giving the next talk, to really delve deeply into what are the actual environmental impacts of Filecoin, and what can we do in order to mitigate them. And so I'm going to give you today this sort of sneak preview of this dashboard called the Filecoin Green dashboard that this amazing dev shop called Digital Mob has been building for us. This data is not sort of finalized yet. There's a couple issues with it, but we're working really quick to fix those up. What you can see is that you can look at the two sort of main drivers of energy use in the Filecoin network, which are data stored and then sealing, so capacity added per day. And you can then see how that translates into energy use. So energy use to seal sectors, we have an upper bound, a lower bound, and an estimate. Then the energy used to actually store data. Again, we have this lower bound, upper bound, and estimate. And then how do those combine at the network level, right? And so what this looks like here is, from our estimate, we think the network is using around 130, 140 megawatt hours today, which the way to sort of think about that is within the realm of data stored online. Filecoin is maybe 0.5% of that and is using about 0.5% of data center energy. So that's roughly in line with what the industry is doing. And so what's also really exciting about this dashboard is you can type in and look at data for individual miner IDs, which is really crucial for this granular vision that we have for how we're going to be understanding the environmental impacts of Filecoin, and then giving people tools to reduce and mitigate them, and ultimately target this sort of verifiably environmentally efficient, or verifiably environmentally beneficial network. There's a lot happening here, and I really want to thank our amazing partners at EnergyWeb, who you're going to be hearing more from. Obviously, the reputation system team, the Sentinel team, a bunch of people are really working together to make this happen, and we're extremely excited to go forward and improve in all these systems. Please join Phil Green on Filecoin Slack. That's a new channel that was created where we're going to announce these new initiatives. And if you also have any questions, feedback, ideas, comments, please DM me. I'm at Alan Ransil on Filecoin Slack. Thank you so much.